Welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you how I painted this Glade Guard Wood Elf for Warhammer Fantasy Battles. If you liked the video, don't forget to show your support, liking, commenting and subscribing to the channel to see more videos. Like in the Eternal Guard tutorial, I find the Wood Elves to be very fun to paint and very good looking, and that's the reason why I chose to collect them. I'm going to start by using Rust-Oleum Grey Primer, Automotive Grey Primer, to prime the miniature. Remember that this primer is not made for miniatures, so you have to use it very lightly. Don't try to cover the whole miniature, just give it a light dusting. And what I'm going to do is going to use Bugman's Glow to paint the skin area of the model. I usually start by painting the most deepest part of the model, which is usually the skin. And so that's what I'm doing first. Remember to thin down the paint at least 1:1 with just water. It's very important not to use paint straight from the pot. Try to at least thin it a little bit with water. You can find the ratio that you're comfortable with. And yeah, this is Doombull brown, and with this color I'm painting all of the brown areas. Well, actually I'm not painting the wood areas, just the leather brown areas. Next I'm going to use Loren Forest. With this color I'm going to paint a medium green color on the miniature. I can't really tell you where to use it. You can see the miniature here and use it as a guide, but the good thing about the Wood Elves and the Glade Guard especially is that you can switch around the colors. You can paint the breastplate on brown and some other things on green or dark green, and just change it around between the troops to give it a little bit of variation. Next I'm going to use Caliban green. That is going to be used as the dark green color, and this is gonna go to the cape and a little loincloth between the legs and pieces of the armor that you can see here. Next, with Sandri dust. This color I'm going to use it to paint the hair, the bone details on the bow, and some strappings here and there, or should I say stitches on the leather armor. I'm painting them with this color as well. Next I'm going to use Mournfang brown, and with this color I'm going to paint some other brown details on the model and the bow. Actually the arrows as well. I'm using this as a wood brown color, although you can use any other brown that you like. Next I'm going to use Mephiston red, and with that I'm going to paint little details on the model, like the fletching on the arrows and little details that you would like. The red is going to be a very contrasting color, so use it in moderation, just a little bit. And lastly, I'm going to use Balthasar gold to paint little gold details here and there. In this miniature, there's only the tips of the bow, and that's it. Now that all of the base colors are done, I'm going to use Reikland Flesh Shade to shade the hair and the skin. Next, I'm going to use Agrax Earthshade. With this color, I'm going to shade in the brown and the red and the darker green. Next, Athonian Camo shade. This color is going to be used on the mid-green tones. It doesn't matter if the shades mix a little bit here and there. It's only important that you shade mostly of the parts that you like with the proper shade, because if you use green shade on the yellow hair, it's gonna be looking weird. So try to just keep it on where it should be. What I'm doing here, I'm using Cadian flesh tone to bring back the color of the skin. I'm just leaving the deepest recesses on the previous color. Just try to paint the whole area of the skin, just leaving the edges where it touches the leather, for example, or the hair. And next I'm going to use Kislev flesh to give it an extreme highlight to the flesh. This is going to be on the front part of the forehead, the cheekbones, and the chin, and little details here and there just to give it a highlight, the places where the light would hit. And that's it. It's a good idea to have thin paint when you're painting the skin, so that you can use multiple layers and don't leave any sort of weird transition or texture on the face. Next, with Doombull brown, I'm painting again the brown parts, just cleaning them up with a size 2 brush I'm using. And yeah, just clean them up and leave the recesses on the darker color. Next, I'm going to use Tuskgor fur, and I'm going to use Liquitex slow dry to thin down this paint and all of the paints that I'm going to use as an edge highlight. This is going to go as an edge highlight on all of the brown parts. Previously, whenever I edge highlighted it was a little bit difficult. It was not my favorite part of painting the miniatures, but since I've been using the slow dry from Liquitex, actually edge highlighting has become one of my favorite parts and very enjoyable in my opinion. Just try it out. Try to use slow dry to thin down the paint when you're using edge highlights or stuff like that, or you can use it always. It makes the paint more easier to control, and it's not that difficult. Next, I'm going to use, this was Loren Forest, to clean up the mid-tone, the green mid-tone. And yeah. Next, I'm gonna edge highlight the green as well with Elisian green. For the edge highlight, I'm using a detail brush from Citadel. You can use any detail brush of any brand that you like. And then I'm going to clean up the darker green with Caliban green, just leaving the shaded color on the deepest folds and recesses. Next, with Warpstone Glow, I'm going to give first highlight to the green, darker green parts. It's an edge highlight, but I'm not worried for it to be too thin, because I'm going to give it a second one with a lighter tone of green. Just try to pick the most raised parts and the very edges of the darker green. Next, Moot green. This is the second edge highlight to the darker green parts, and this time I'm trying to make a very fine edge highlight, showing a little bit of the previous green color on the darker green. Next, with Deathclaw brown, I'm going to highlight the brown parts that are not leather, that are wood and strappings and stuff like that. For the bow, I'm just going to edge highlight the edges, and that's it, because the Mournfang brown looks pretty cool, just shaded with Agrax Earthshade. And I'm going to highlight the arrows and stuff like that. Next, I'm going to use Ushabti bone as the first highlight for the details on the bow, and the stitches on the brown and the hair. On the hair, I'm kinda overbrushing. It's not really dry brushing, it's just having very minimal amount of paint and just painting along the hair strands, just following them, trying to pick them up. Screaming Skull is the next highlight for the bone details. Try to use it on the places that most light would hit on the hair, and to further highlight the bone details on the model. Next, with Wild Rider Red, I'm going to just paint the red details on the model. Just try to pick the raised details on the fletching and the details that you chose to paint on red. And to finish it off, I'm going to use Sycorax Bronze. This is a very beautiful color in my opinion, and I'm just going to highlight the gold parts. And that's it for the tutorial. I hope you find this tutorial helpful and informative, and that you enjoyed the video. This miniature is one of my favorites so far. With the Eternal Guard, the Wood Elf army looks pretty amazing in my opinion, and I can't wait to start painting the rest of them. If you would like to show your support to the channel and help me out, you can like this video, comment on it, and share it with your friends. Also, you can subscribe to the channel to see more videos. Feel free to post in the comments below any commentary or questions that you may have. Let me know what you would like to see next, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember that you can find me on Facebook, link on the description below, and I'll see you later.